Welcome back, everybody,
Welcome.
to another episode of the Serving Scandalous Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready to be stressed out again?
Hey, I'm here for it.
Well, this episode today is all about people feeling like they're on the guilt trip.
Okay.
Someone wants them to do something, they don't really want to do it, but they feel guilty for saying no.
Hey, it is what it is sometimes.
Yeah, we know you have no problem about telling somebody no.
Right.
James has to be the most nonchalant, bold person that I know. He'll just be like, no,
I mean, you gotta let them know sometimes.
all the time.
I mean, yeah. If you don't let them know, how they gonna know?
So I'm sure this will be easy for you, but these people need a little help. They need a little advice.
Oh, Lord.
And we're going to give it to them because this is some craziness.
Okay.
Well, if you're ready to jump into story number 1, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
First story up is, would I be the asshole for not granting my grandmother's dying wish?
Oh, Lord.
Here we go.
All right.
I have not had any sort of relationship with my former brother Dan and his wife for over 6 years. Not former brother.
Right.
How do you have a former brother? That's funny.
Hey, he off them.
I've seen them one time at a funeral and we stayed away from each other. Dan is the former golden child and his wife is a piece of shit, just like him. No one likes her. Our parents used to kiss her ass because of Dan and the grandchild. Now to the point of my post. I bought my grandparents' property at the end of 2017 when he moved to assisted living. I paid market rate, so there was no family discount.
Okay.
My property, even when my grandparents owned it, was the go-to place for all family events and parties. This is important for later. Against my better judgment and pressure and nagging from my mom, I allowed the sister-in-law to use my place to film content. She was a content creator on YouTube and did lifestyle content with her friends. She was supposed to be there only for one day. It was pitched to me that the sister-in-law and her friends were trying to grow their channels and attract sponsorships. I was told that renting a place like mine was not in their budget. I made it very clear that I expected my property to be returned in the same condition as I left it, and gave my sister-in-law the code to the garage. I was told there would only be 6 people there, max, at any given time. I did take some precautions by locking up my bedroom and my office. Back then, I only had a Ring doorbell camera. Then I got a call from my neighbor, and he asked me something that upset me. I did not understand his question at all. He said he was surprised that I was having a party and he wasn't invited. I told him I'm not having a party. He said the house was lit up and there was music blasting and 4 cars in the yard.
Oh, wow.
He found it odd that none of the cars were in the driveway. I got the most horrible feeling. I was spending the weekend with my girlfriend, which they were aware of, that I was out of town. All these people ended up parking on the grass instead of the driveway or the street so that it wouldn't trigger the Ring camera.
Right.
So I rushed home and I felt like I walked into a tsunami. It's like my house was raided. Anything and everything was thrown on the ground. There were strangers smoking in my house and eating my effing food. Furniture tossed, throw up all over the place. Someone even broke the damn dishwasher by sitting on the door.
Wow.
There was broken glass all over the pool area. Anyone who owns a pool knows what that means. The bird feeder didn't even survive. I lost my mind. The house had just been renovated. I started screaming that everyone better get the F out of my house once I cut the music. I called the police, and that caused my house to empty out. I called my parents and told them to come get their 2 favorite See You Next Tuesdays out of my house. They were so drunk, they sat on the couch with no cushions and throw up, just telling me to calm down and that they would come the next day and clean up. They could barely speak a complete sentence. That's how wasted they were. How old are these people?
Right.
My parents made it seem like this was a family dispute to the police. My dad said he would pay for all the damage and for me to not go the insurance route, which would open up a world of hurt for my brother and my sister-in-law. As a side note, I found out later on that if my insurance company found out that my house was being used for commercial purposes, even with no exchange of money, I would not be able to get any damage covered. I know better. Don't ever let anyone use your house to create content, even your mother, without proper insurance. My mom told me, for the sake of my nephews, not to pursue charges. I told her, F in your bullshit. I screamed at my parents about what a F up they raised. Yeah, I cursed them out. I was sick of them making excuses for my brother and the sister-in-law, always pressuring me and my sister to eat their shit and keep the peace. Every grievance I've ever had against them would be thrown out within a week. I went on to tell the entire family about what my brother and his wife did to my property, and I still don't speak to them after 6 years. My family on both sides told my parents that until I allowed them to be back in my home, that they weren't allowed in theirs. They have not been invited to a family event ever since this incident happened. My parents deservingly caught so much hell and were blamed that my brother turned out the way he did. My dad's side of the family were especially appalled by the way the house was damaged. Even though I technically owned it, they still looked at it as if it was my grandparents' home. My parents did pay for everything that was damaged, and I added some high-ticket items and a complete landscape renovation that I previously delayed to be compensated for my pain and suffering. Dad told me that anything that was paid for was coming out of my brother's future inheritance. Don't think for 1 second I did not take advantage of this. My sister got compensated for their parenting failures. My parents were really just trying to make us not go no contact with them. They explained that by them paying for all of the repairs was holding my brother accountable and for him to have consequences. I graciously let them know that I didn't care what they did after they paid for everything, and I still went no contact after that. After my grandpa died, we started talking again. I have such strong boundaries. I told them that if they ever defended my brother, tried to force a reconciliation, or try to mention him in any way, shape, or form, I will go no contact with them too. They have not mentioned their name in years. Now on to present. My grandmother is very sick, and the doctor says she won't be around much longer. This has strained my family, and things have been very hard. She has respected my wishes for no contact with my brother. She also cut off my brother for a couple years. She was upset about the damage to the house. She asked me to come visit her. She says she wants to have a 4th of July barbecue and wants to take a big family picture like old times by the lake, which is at my house. She wants my brother to be there and his son. She asked me to think about it. When my house was violated, it was one of the worst days of my life. I was a wreck for days. I would call my parents and scream at them when I found out something else was wrong, and I would demand that they come over right now and look at it and fix it. I then would remind them of what a worthless, entitled F-up that they raised. I did it so much that I got sick and tired of hearing my own rants. I broke up with my then girlfriend because she said I needed to forgive my brother, and I had warned her not to ever bring that topic up, ever. I took a stress leave from my job so I could concentrate on repairs to my house. Even writing about this and what transpired still pisses me off. I swore they would never step foot on my property again. My sister told me this is a big ask, but denying my grandmother her final wishes would not sit well with me. But would I be the asshole if I say no?
Yeah, that's tough. What you think?
We can't have the barbecue somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean you could, but they want to they want to do back in the day type of photo shoot. So they want the lake that they used to be at, things like that. So I think you can't just go to another location and have the same vibe.
I would say she's not the asshole because
Okay.
this is not just some place. This is her home.
True.
And you're supposed to feel comfortable in your home. You're not supposed to feel worried. That's the one place where you can put certain boundaries in place.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're saying, oh, can you think about coming to the party? I would say, yeah, go to the party. But having them force you to have it at your home,
Mm-hmm. I feel you on that.
yeah. If it wasn't her house, then I would say, yeah, whatever. But now granted, this was 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It would be, and your whole family is going to be there. I don't think your brother is going to go act a fool.
Right.
But it's the principle.
I feel you on that.
And I think that she doesn't want to give an inch and then someone tries to take a mile. Like if she says, yeah, you could come to the house, then it's going to be, oh, did you talk to your brother or Christmas? And when she cracks, people are going to start making more requests.
Yeah, but I guess the biggest question is because she's sick. Like the grandma, is the grandma
Yeah,
sick?
it's the grandma sick.
She's sick, so she's kind of like giving her last request of having this last memorable time at the old spot, you know, that they used to have family gatherings. I guess that's, you know.
I would do anything for my grandmother, but I don't know. I don't have these dynamics. So I don't really know, you
I feel you.
know?
People ain't throwing parties and wrecking your stuff.
Yeah, I also don't have siblings, so I would never be asked to do nothing like this, you know? I don't have a brother that's messed me over. I don't have
Any type of
siblings that I've disowned.
It could be any family though.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't care if it was a cousin or something. Like we talking about, you want my cousin there? No, that's easy. No, but I feel like it might be different.
So her last request was to have your cousin.
She wouldn't ask me that. That's the thing. My grandma wouldn't ask me.
I feel you.
I'm trying to see if she would have asked me.
Right.
I think it's a no.
I feel you.
And I think it's a no because people die all the time without getting requests granted. People die without being able to tell their loved ones. Some people die tragically. You're here today, you're gone the next second. So it's okay to die without getting what you want. Some people die instantly, tragically. Plenty of people don't die without getting their last things out. It'll be all right.
I feel you.
So I guess it's a no for me.
I feel you.
But my grandma wouldn't ask me to do nothing crazy like that.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, and it'll be all right.
Nothing wrong with that.
You can do the barbecue somewhere else.
Right.
It's either you could have it at my house, my brother can't be there, or if you want to have it at somebody else's house, I will go there and be around my brother for you. That's the two options. If you want it at this house, no brother. If you want my brother there, somebody else's house, and I'll be there.
Yeah.
That's what I would tell him. What about you?
No, I would give them that ultimatum too. At the end of the day, I mean, if it was one of my siblings and they wrecked my house,
Yeah.
like, I mean, you talking about throw up everywhere, glass everywhere,
Broken
my
stuff.
dishwasher broke.
This is somebody's home.
That means you threw a massive party and you had cars on my lawn. You were sneakily about it, so you didn't park in front of the ring door. Like, you literally, like, blatantly was just, like, disrespectful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you wouldn't be entering my house ever again.
Ever again.
I would just say no, or give them that option, too, of just being somewhere else.
And like once I'm done with somebody, I'm done with them, and it has nothing to do with the grandma. Ain't got nothing to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that's how I am. So I don't want to pretend that I would cave in. I know I wouldn't. So it's a no.
I feel you.
But grandma could host a party here, but my brother can't come,
Right.
and that's just it. If you want your raggedy grandson, you got to put it at somebody else's party.
And you buying it at
That's
market.
right? Like this
Like,
wasn't no
that's-
gift.
Right. That was just
She
straight
bought a
up.
house like it was anybody else's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I feel you.
See what some of the commenters had to say?
Yeah, what they talking about?
Someone said, not the asshole. Your parents can host the barbecue at their own house. Do not let your brother and his wife back in. Otherwise, tell your parents you will require a $10,000 deposit for damages. Your grandmother is hoping for reconciliation before she dies.
Yeah, that's a good one right there.
Well, you know what? 'Cause
I
it's
wouldn't
not-
have thought of that. I would have just
Yeah.
been like, no.
I think it's a no because it's not the fear of him coming destroy more things. That's not the problem. He's not throwing a party and his homeboys. Like, that's not the kind of function it is, right? So I don't think the fear is that the brother is going to come back in and destroy the house again. Not with your mama and daddy standing right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the
It's
concern.
the principle.
Of what you did, and you'll never be back.
Right. And I said that and I meant that.
Right. So I think the deposit is a great idea if the issue was she was afraid of him coming to the house to throw another shindig. That's not the concern. So the $10,000 deposit still don't fix the problem for me.
I feel you on
My
that.
problem is you won't never be back here again.
Right.
That's where it just kind of begins and ends.
I
But
feel
clever.
Mm-hmm.
The next person said take a $100,000 deposit out of his inheritance. Have a clean house rule. No smoking, drugs, damages, no access to the pool. And they pay for professional guards of your choice for each member of Dan's raggedy family.
Wow.
And you are authorized to kick him out at any moment. I still don't think that's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
I think the issue is principle, not a fear of him damaging the house at the barbecue.
I feel you.
Someone else said, I think I would either set rules that would completely protect me and yet be so utterly erroneous that he would not likely want to come. Or I would attempt to get her to compromise and hold the event somewhere else, somewhere nice and ideally close so she wouldn't have to travel too far, but not my place. Maybe brainstorm with your family. If it's something sentimental or family oriented, it might turn out even better.
Okay, I feel that.
Yeah, it's a no for me.
No, I feel you. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And this is from his wrongdoing, so I mean, hey, he get whatever he deserved.
Yeah.
Or she, because it was a sister-in-law that did the party, right? Yeah. Whatever she deserved.
Yeah. I think it's a no.
I feel it.
Let us know what you guys think.
Absolutely.
Next story.
Yeah, what's going on?
Am I the asshole for telling my son I will not motivate or support him after he becomes an adult?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I guess straight like that.
Hey.
All right. The story starts off as, my oldest kid is a good kid, but kind of lazy. His mom has always protected him. She has her reasons. Her first husband and child passed away over 22 years ago.
It's unfortunate.
2 years after that, that's when we met, fell in love, got married, had our son. Unfortunately, our son's birth was the catalyst in a regression for her. He could do no wrong. If I even tried to punish or correct him, she would get upset and start crying and would fight me. Not fight me.
Right.
If he found something difficult and I wanted him to work through it or try harder, she would step in and tell me to back off or actually just do it for him. This led to our divorce, and I wanted to be a father and not a spectator. She fought so hard for me to not get custody, I ended up with just visitation. My kid wouldn't do anything, though. He wouldn't bring his homework over when he would be at my house. He would just want to play video games. If I didn't let him, he would have tantrums. It was exhausting, and she would always back him up. Everything had to always be my fault. I remarried my wife. We have 2 other children together, and I do my best to raise them right. My son stopped coming over when he was about 14, and I still invite him, but he just rarely responds. My child support just stopped. His mom has been giving it to him to do whatever he wants with it for the last 3 years. Not my problem. I pay it. She does what she wants with it. He called me to see if I could help him with money. I asked for what? He said that his mom can't give him the allowance that my child support was. I asked if he was going to be attending some sort of college or military. He said no. I told him to get a job.
Right.
That's how he gets some money. His mom has lost her shit. She says she will take me back to court so her poor baby can live the life he wants his way. How are you going to take him to court for an adult?
Right.
It's not really how that works.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Unless you have like an incapacitated child or a child that is disabled to the point where they can never live on their own and things like that. That's when the court will make decisions about adults.
She just talking.
You know.
She just talking.
Yeah. I wish for the odds to forever be in her favor, and I hung up. Now that he's an adult, I never have to talk to her again. It's too bad because I loved her so much, but not anymore. My son asked me to help him find a job. I said I would.
Reasonable.
I told him to send me his resume. I've been waiting 3 weeks for it. He called me yesterday to see if I had any progress with finding him a job, and I told him, you never sent me your resume. He got upset that I never reminded him.
Oh, no.
That's not how that this works. Child is coddled. I told him that I was not going to motivate him to do anything. I told him I wasn't going to motivate him to do anything and that I will be here if he needed help, but I would never be giving him money again. I did let him come over and helped him with his resume. I also talked to him about trade school and community college. He is beginning to understand how effed up his future is. Now, he is upset with his mother now because he doesn't have basic life skills. She is mad at me for showing him the truth. Am I the asshole? Basically, the initial question was, is he the asshole to say that he's not going to motivate or support his son once he becomes an adult? I think he might be the asshole a little bit.
Oh.
Because you don't know what you don't know. This child is, and I say child because, I mean, he's probably 17 or 18. Like, just because you're 18 don't make you grown. But it's not like this child don't know nothing or and don't have no motivation because he's just an F up. He was raised like this. You get what I'm saying? It's not like his mom and dad tried to give him everything and he was just some bad kid and a menace to society and his parents are probably now finally fed up and was just like, we done with you. That's not the situation. He's just acting how he was raised. So I think you gotta try to teach him some life skills. You kind of gotta undo 18 years of what his mama did. So I don't really think that's his fault. I think it's the mama's fault.
I feel you.
So I think since he's not a tyrant and a menace to society, remember, we've read stories about parents being like, we don't know what to do with our son. We low-key scared of him. It's not that. His mama raised him like that. So I think dad just got to work with him a little bit. And
I think he is working with him a little bit, though. I don't think he's an asshole because I feel like he was trying to he agreed to help him find a job. He agreed to help him with his resume. He's kind of teaching him life skills the hard way. The son called him talking about, hey, any updates on the job? And he was like, where's your resume? That's a life skill.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're saying that if he continues to remind him, then that's the same thing his mama would have been doing. He would have never learned. So,
right.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, once you hit, I don't know, and I could be wrong, but once you hit 18, you kind of know, like, I'm kind of getting spoon-fed here. Like, life just got to hit you with a ton of bricks. That's kind of how life works.
Yeah.
A lot of times. Like,
I mean, life is the ultimate teacher lesson. If your parents don't teach you, life will.
Yeah.
That's why you hope that you prepare your children for life because they're going to learn one way or another. And you hope that you gave them the tools to be prepared.
Right.
He don't have no tools. Do what you got to do. Like, nobody's going to tell you right or wrong how you plan on parenting your now adult child. It's a little late. Good luck to you.
You're never too late, I guess.
Yeah, good luck.
Because you got to start now.
Some of the commenters said, not the asshole. At least your son is beginning to realize the downside of having someone following you around and wiping your backside your whole life. He's behind the curve, and he can turn it around if he wants. Dad responded.
Oh, wow.
I let him come over and I helped him with his resume. I also talked to him about trade school and community college. Someone else said, well, some of that anger is misplaced. Your son was happy as a clam living on Easy Street. The light bulb in his head turned on when the source of his generous allowance dried up. He went to school. His classmates had jobs. They were applying to colleges and university while he was playing video games. Lesson learned. Yeah. Someone else said, to be honest, it sounds like he just turned 18 or just finished school, and so child support stopped. He's young and hasn't been taught any different. Think of it as when people who grow up in a cult, they don't know what they don't know until they step outside of the cult and realize there's a whole different world out there. He needs to be deprogrammed from being entitled. It happens to plenty of teenagers when the real world hits.
I mean, that's all true.
But Dad said, get someone else to do it.
I mean, Dad's still helping, though.
Yeah, he is.
Not like he just left him out in the corner.
Yeah.
Like, find yourself. He still help you. Hey, go get you a job.
But I'm not going to hold your hand.
Right.
Yeah, maybe. He's like, you didn't have enough hand holding.
That's right.
Your whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's different parenting styles. And he's like, you've been coddled enough for the rest of your life. You don't need not another coddle.
That's right.
So, hey, good luck to you. Nope. We're going to say no, not the asshole.
Correct.
All right. This next story,
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see what you think because I know how you are. You're more so of a mind your business kind of person.
That's right.
No matter how close of the relation.
It is what it is.
So let's see what you think about this.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for telling my sister her husband is cheating on her with her best friend?
No. But I feel you. I wouldn't do it, but you're not the asshole if you did.
You wouldn't tell your sister if you knew her husband was sleeping with her best friend?
Oh, I would probably tell her. I would tell her. I do like to mind my business, but I mean, I would tell her.
Okay, so you cool with it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I just know you be like, I'm gonna mind my business.
Not when it comes to my sister and she getting cheated on.
Okay, cool. But that's what this
he
is.
He might come back with a knot in his head,
but
and then that'll tell him.
But the only difference is that you're the brother,
right?
And this is a sister talking about her sister. So.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Usually I will mind my business, but not for something like that.
Okay.
Nah.
Because those are sensitive things. Like sometimes you tell somebody what the person doing, and then they turn it around on you, and they get mad at you for telling them.
I feel
And
you.
so a lot of times people just try to stay out of people's relationships. But
Not if a dude cheating on my sister. That's dead. Or a female cheating on my brother. That's dead too.
okay,
Yeah.
well, let's just jump right on in.
Okay.
I'm a 32-year-old female, and I found out something so awful a couple months ago, and now it feels like my whole family is crumbling. My sister is 34 and has been married to her husband for 7 years. He's 36. Everything seemed fine in their marriage until I noticed something off with my sister's best friend. Her best friend has been around since we were kids. She's like family. So no one ever questioned the closeness between her and my brother-in-law. I started seeing things. At first, it was small stuff like how they would sit together a little bit too close at family gatherings, or how they would have these little side conversations and inside jokes that my sister wasn't a part of. It didn't sit right with me, but I thought, maybe I'm overthinking it. They have been close friends basically all their lives. Then the worst happened. One night, I decided to grab a quick drink after work, and I saw them. My brother-in-law and my sister's best friend were at the bar. It wasn't just them hanging out. They were making out in a corner booth like teenagers.
Oh, wow.
My heart literally dropped and I froze. I didn't know what to do. So I snapped a picture on my phone and I walked out, shaking. I didn't know what to do with this information. I spent weeks torturing myself over it. Should I tell my sister and blow her life up? Or should I just keep quiet and let her live in this blissful lie? I couldn't look at her without feeling terrible guilt. Every time she talked about them, it felt like I was going to explode. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore, and I told my sister. Pause real quick.
Yeah.
I don't have sisters, but so I'm trying to imagine if I saw my best friend's husband cheating on her. Ooh, this is what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
I would have snapped the proof first. So I would have got my picture on my video first.
Right.
Then I would have walked up to them. I wouldn't have left the restaurant. I would have walked up to him and I would have said, you got 24 hours to tell her I will.
I feel you on that.
And make him come clean. That's the hope that I ain't got to get in it. I'm hoping I ain't got to get in it. And I will also tell you, I've been standing here for 5 minutes and I got all the photos and videos. So you better tell the truth how the truth was done.
I feel you.
You got 24 hours. And then that will probably force him into telling the truth. So then I don't have to be in it.
I feel you.
And also when you tell her, don't tell her about our conversation. You come clean and leave me out of it. That's what I would have done.
Sure.
But I ain't running off. Hell no. Proof,
Yeah.
confrontation. Then you got 24 hours. That's it. Straight like that.
That's pretty much telling then.
But I'm telling him.
Right.
I'm not going to tell the best friend.
I feel you.
Unless, I think he would say something in 24 hours if you do something like that.
Oh, for sure.
And then I might, depending on if that girl says something crazy or depending on her attitude, then it might have been a skirmish.
She might tell you to shut up.
Yeah, then we fight. So
what? You gonna fight her?
Yeah.
For what?
What you mean? Don't be getting no damn attitude with me. You sleeping with my best friend husband. You need your ass whooped.
I think that's when you walk out, so it won't be nothing else going on. You be like, oh, and then you leave. Like, what you fighting for?
What age am I? Am I in my today age? I got too much to lose.
Right.
But if I was in high school, college,
Of course.
if I'm 19, 20, oh yeah, we beat her up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then I'm calling my other friends. We probably got like a little friend circle.
Yeah.
I probably won't call other friends because it's embarrassing. But yeah, me and her would be in a little tussle. So she better sit in that booth and shut up.
I feel you.
Keep your mouth closed. But today, too much to lose.
Nah, I feel you.
But I have not been tried at my big age of today.
Oh my goodness.
So that's the thing. I haven't been put in a situation to contemplate fighting.
I feel you.
I would hope and pray that I'm old enough and wise enough now to be a changed woman.
Yeah.
But I have not been tried in my big age. But I would hope I'd be strong enough to walk away.
I don't know. I feel like Francis' differences because I did just say he would come back home with a knot in his head.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess, you know what? At the end of the day, it's not my situation. So since it is my best friend getting cheated on, I probably wouldn't knock the girl.
Right.
But if it was my situation, it probably would end in a fight. Like if it was you, I caught in the booth with the girl, then yeah, that'd probably be a fight.
I mean, that's what I'm right.
If she said something to me. If you just sit there and you quiet, I'll leave you alone.
Oh my goodness.
You're going to have to provoke me in some kind of way.
See, I feel like different folks is different situations. I mean, if you had a sibling, maybe you would.
Maybe I would have.
Because if it was like your brother, your brother getting cheated on, right? Yeah, your brother was getting cheated on.
And I walked in on his wife and another man.
Yes. Then
So then would I don't
well, I guess you, yeah. I don't know.
would I beat up
Would
my
you beat up the-
sister-in-law?
Right. Well, yeah, right.
Probably not. But like I said, I don't
Yeah.
I don't know because at the end of the day I ain't getting cheated on, so it's kind of I don't know if I would be provoked like that to
feel you.
beat her up. But yeah, if it was different, like if this is my man
Mm,
and y'all in the booth, oh yeah,
yeah.
it would be bad.
But I guess, I don't know, I guess as a guy too, and you're talking about like my sister, it's still my
So
sister.
if it's your sister
Right.
and you walk into a bar and it's your sister's husband and his hoochie and they making out, are you confronting your brother-in-law?
Yeah.
So you just walked in the bar, you
Right.
see your brother-in-law and the hoochie. What do
Yeah.
you do?
Like, yo, what's good, bro?
You didn't snap the picture first? Man, I
I
tell
don't need
you.
to take no picture.
Man,
I mean, if you don't want to believe me, you gotta believe me.
okay, so you just walking right up to him.
Yeah, but like, yo, y'all good? So, let's go ahead and get a
Let me sit
whatever
down.
on the rocks. Yo.
Let me sit down. Y'all look like y'all having fun over here.
Yeah.
That's what you would
Now I
do.
just start asking her questions. What y'all got going
Well,
on?
yeah, you know him.
Right.
And the girl gonna be looking all confused.
She gonna be like, oh, I'm be like, oh, I'm just a friend. What y'all got going on? She might start giggling, be like, oh yeah, it's over with. And he gonna be looking like a deer in the headlights.
Mm-hmm. And then I you sat there. You gonna give him the ultimatum like I would say? You better tell my sister, or it's your ass. Or are you gonna tell your sister
Yeah, I might just tell him to tell her.
and tell the truth? Because if I get involved, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, because I ain't got time to be taking no pictures. Like,
Yeah.
what I look like a
I would have had
photographer?
video, photos. I would have had it.
Oh, I feel you. See?
I would have had it.
Right. Yeah, you would have.
Oh yeah, I know I
But it
would.
would have been like, okay, you could take my, like, if I'm telling, it's either you take my word or you don't. Oh, you don't believe? Oh, okay, well, shoot. I mean, it don't matter. Okay.
Yeah.
I said what I said.
It's so painful. Poor lady. Well, let's continue.
All right.
I showed my sister the pictures, and at first she just stared at me like I just destroyed her whole world. See, that's why I don't want to have to be put in no situation like this.
You shouldn't have to be
Right.
in a situation like this.
She couldn't believe it. Well, shit, the photo right there, lady. She accused me of lying and being jealous for trying to start drama in her life. And I just stood there letting her scream at me because I knew she needed to let it out. See, that's crazy. That's why people don't like to get involved. Because, ma'am, I'm showing you the proof and you telling me I'm lying and I'm jealous.
Yeah, I feel you.
Eventually, she confronted them, and guess what? They admitted it. They've been having an affair for 6 months. My sister kicked him out, and she's now moving forward with a divorce. And for her best friend, she's out the picture. I thought my sister would hate me, but she actually thanked me for telling her the truth. So maybe she was just losing it in the moment and came to her senses. She said she would never have known and felt like an idiot for missing the signs. But now my parents are pissed at me. Like, absolutely furious. They think I ruined their marriage and didn't give them a chance to work it out.
How was they gonna work it out if they didn't know?
And how is it telling your sister? Like, your sister could have forgave her husband. You didn't contribute to the decision she made. You just gave her the information. She could have forgave her husband if she wanted to. She chose to leave him.
Right.
How was that your fault? My dad told me sometimes people can move past affairs, but you never left her a choice.
She
What
wouldn't
choice?
known.
But what choice did she take from her husband?
I don't know.
Right. My parents are acting like I wrecked their lives. My mom even said that I should have kept it to myself and that my sister could have worked things out if I hadn't intervened. I guess mom was like, you should have let them find out. Now the family is divided and it feels like I'm the bad guy for telling the truth. I can't lie. It's been really hard. My sister has been leaning on me for support, but now I'm on bad terms with my parents and it's just a big old mess. I thought I was doing the right thing, but now I'm questioning if I made things worse. Am I the asshole for telling my sister about the affair? Or should I have kept quiet?
No. I think she did the right. Like, there's no right or wrong. Like, you either tell them or you don't.
She's
But
not
you're
wrong. The person that's wrong is the best friend and the husband. You're not wrong for telling them.
Right.
Yeah. I would understand that why you wouldn't have told if for reasons like this, but I also understand why you told.
Right.
You're not wrong.
No.
But this is why you get, this is why a lot of times people don't say anything because you get caught up in they mess.
Parents crazy though too for saying that. Like, what?
I know what it sounds like to me.
But
The parents been cheating.
Probably, yeah, right.
Because anybody who's
They over there condoning it.
right,
Damn
like,
near.
yeah, anybody who don't have that kind of foolishness going on wouldn't be responding like this.
True. Yeah, they would have worked it out, but I mean,
How about people can move past the fair sometimes? Shut up.
So, yeah, no, not the asshole. I mean, you did what you did. I mean, at the end of the day, you caught them. Like, it shouldn't have been out there cheating
Yeah,
at the bar or whatever they was at.
and imagine
Or nowhere.
but also imagine you didn't tell your sister nothing,
Right.
and then one day your sister finds out on her own and then tells you, guess what? I just caught them, whatever. And then now you finally come clean your sister. Yeah, I caught him in the bar 6 months ago. That might make your sister even just as mad.
Right.
Or worse. You know, you can't win for losing.
Right.
It's a bad situation all around. Someone said in the comments, your parents sound like they're speaking from experience. Is there something that they need to tell you about past infidelity in their marriage? It was up to your sister and her husband to determine how they were going to handle their marriage, like couples therapy, take a break, etc. But the end result and the decision they made is not on you. Imagine how hurt your sister would be if she found out years later that you knew the whole time.
Right.
That's what I just said. Something tells me that your parents already knew about the cheating.
Possibly. Wow.
Someone else said, honestly, after my parents were done talking, my first question would be, so which one of you cheated?
Oh my goodness.
Second question would be, if I found out about one of you cheating, should I tell the other?
Really?
And my third question would be, how long have you known that my brother-in-law has been cheating on my sister?
Right.
The next person said, you absolutely did the right thing. With all due respect, your parents are simply wrong. Maybe they are projecting because they swept infidelity in their marriage under the rug. Or maybe they're simply delusional. Either way, you are not accountable for how they feel. You are a good sister at the end of the day. You had your sister's back when she needed you the most. Since your parents don't appreciate you, have a gold star from this random internet dad.
What? Yeah, that's crazy.
Reddit is such a funny place.
Yeah, hilarious.
Well, that's that story.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right now, midway through, which one's your worst so far? The son who's just a lazy child, or this cheating one?
I mean,
this cheating one's worse.
Yeah, it gotta be.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Unfortunately,
those two aren't really comparable
sometimes, but you gotta learn life. I mean, learn life lessons. The way you learn them, I mean, that's life lessons.
Yeah.
Learn them in life.
Well, are you ready for this next story?
Yeah, I'm ready.
This one's a little odd, a little interesting. A little odd and a little interesting.
Okay.
Okay. Would I be the asshole for breaking up with my girlfriend because of what her dead boyfriend's dad said to me?
Depends. Okay.
My girlfriend's last boyfriend died in a car crash some years ago. My girlfriend told me about this when we became official. She also told me that she's really close to her dead boyfriend's mom and dad. We gotta keep calling him dead boyfriend.
Right.
You know, that's how they wrote it. She wanted to introduce me to them. I thought it would be awkward, but I decided to go along with it. After all, she mentioned that she considers them to be her other parents. We visited them a few times, and the dad has made some comments. One time, the dad talks about how manly his son was, how he used to work on cars, and how you could tell that he was a real man because his hands were dirty.
What?
He asked me what I did for work, and I told him I was an accountant. And he said, yeah, I could tell it was something like that. Your hands don't look like they do real work.
What? Being an accountant is real work. What is? Oh my gosh. Okay.
I guess it says he uses his brain at work and not
Right.
his hands.
It's not real work.
It's not real work.
No. That's no.
Okay. It's been like this every time we visit them. He mentions how great his son is at something and then says how unmanly I am. I talked to my girlfriend about it and she says I'm just being insecure and I shouldn't feel threatened by it. I told her I don't want to visit them anymore. And then we got into a pretty big fight. She said that maybe the dad is right and I need to be more manly. Would I be the asshole if I broke up with her for this?
No. You can chuck the deuces up on that one. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm going to be a man. All right.
Bye.
Right. No, I'm gone.
This story has some very, very inappropriate comments.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was very hard for me to pull the comments because people said some pretty awful things. I won't repeat it, but I'll kind of give you a gist of what they were saying.
Okay.
They were talking about the dad calling the son manly because he worked on cars, but he died in a car accident. There were a lot of comments throwing shots at that.
Oh, yeah. Nah, that's terrible.
So I tried to comb through those because there were a lot of comments about it. So this is what we're left with.
Okay.
Someone said, not the asshole. You are saving yourself a lifetime of miserable visits and unnecessary comparisons. The next person said, not the asshole. If you get married and have kids, just wait until the dead boyfriend's parents tell you how much cuter his kids would have been instead of yours.
Wow.
Someone else said they are bonded through grief. The girlfriend is a reminder of their dead son, and the parents are the reminder of the dead boyfriend. The dad will never accept the new man in her life because their existence is a reminder that his son is dead. The next commenter said, tell her you want to introduce her to your ex-girlfriend's parents, and let's see how she reacts. I doubt she'll be happy about it and hate being compared to your ex. I hope the mother says, you're not a real woman. Your boobs are much smaller than my daughter's.
Hey.
What?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that was the comments.
He's probably not even as close to his ex as she was to her ex. Like, it's not the same dynamics. I mean, and I feel like a lot of people bring, like, unnecessary drama into people's lives.
Yeah.
Like, and this is just one of them, so.
What is your crazy story?
Okay.
Little recap.
Yeah.
The grandparent story about the dying wish and should her brother go to the house after he trashed it 6 years ago and she hasn't spoken to him since. The second story was about the son not being motivated and the mama been coddling him all his life. The third story is the sister telling her sister about the husband and the best friend. And then the last story was the one about the dead boyfriend's parents and their inappropriate comments.
Yeah.
What's your worst?
My worst got to be, I guess, just the sister gets cheated on, I guess.
Yeah.
If I had to put it, in a category, it would be number one.
Yeah, and then the dying grandma one, number two.
Because, trashing your house is crazy.
Yeah.
And then, but the grandma dying, she asked for that last wish. That's just, it's tough.
Yeah, that's two.
That's on principle. And then 3 would be
Either the son it being coddled or it's this inappropriate comments from the dead boyfriend's parents.
Ooh, if I had to put it in 3 and 4, the son thing would just have to be 4 off rep. I mean, it's life lessons, to me. So the third one would have to be the third story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys think. A little craziness there.
Do you have a list for the 4?
I honestly think the last story would be my number 3.
Okay.
So I would have my number 1 would be the cheating in the sister one. My number 2 would be the grandma who has her dying wish. And then my number 3 would be the disrespectful comments from the dead boyfriend's parents. And then my number 4 would be the son that he's trying to get his life together.
Okay. So it's the same. Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Let us know if you agree with that list in that order.
Absolutely.
Put your thoughts in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. And we hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll definitely see you in the next one.
All right, now.
Bye.